Congresswoman, a pleasure to have you on. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Brooke.
So you issued this statement saying President Trump has betrayed the public trust, abandoned his obligations to the Constitution, and you write that, quote, allegations of the gross misconduct meet the threshold of high crimes and misdemeanors. So, Congresswoman Luria, do you think this incident with Ukraine's president makes the justification for impeachment that much clearer, and not just to you, but also to the American public?
Well, Brooke, I think this makes it crystal clear. At this point, if you have the President of the United States enlisting a foreign leader to conduct an investigation that could do nothing other than smear and malign his political opponent in order to bolster his chances for re-election, and then on top of that, withholding foreign aid in the amount of $250 million, this is just clear cut. This is beyond the pale, and this is an offense that if this isn't impeachable, what is?
And so you're saying crystal clear. Your op-ed mentions a potential quid pro quo, right? Withholding aid in exchange for investigating the Bidens. Earlier today, the president insisted that that was never on the table. Does it matter to you if the president did not verbally mention money on this phone call?
That doesn't matter to me, Brooke.
It doesn't.
I think that it could be explicit, and we may find that out, but even an implicit connection between the two. I mean, put your shoes in the president of Ukraine's seat, President Zelensky. Here you have the president of the United States who has promised this $250 million in security assistance. You're in the position as well that in 2014 your country has been invaded by Russia in Crimea, and this is critical assistance to provide protection for your national security. And then you're being asked to conduct an investigation to smear the political opponent of the president of another country. I mean, how could it not be implicitly connected?
Speaker Pelosi tells CNN that she read your op-ed while she was flying back to Washington last night, and that she got a heads up about its coming out in the Post. Have any of your colleagues heard from the Speaker's office, and do you know her reaction to your decision?
We all spoke to the Speaker before this. I mean, I was 20 years in the Navy, and I know that you never want to surprise anyone in the chain of command. And you know, the Speaker values all of our opinions, and you know, was very glad to have the discussion with us and understand that we had made this decision. I made this decision independently, and then through discussion with my colleagues, found that we were all on the same page. This was glaring misconduct, and it just met a threshold that we felt was imperative that we move forward. And fortunate to have other colleagues of a national security background, myself in the military, and former CIA as well. The seven of us came together and said we have to do this, and let's speak as one voice to make sure that the American public understands that we see the severity of this.
So when you gave Speaker Pelosi the heads up, what was her reaction to you?
Her reaction is, as it always has been whenever I've let her know about a decision I've made, is that, she said, Elaine, you represent your district and you do what is right for your district. And, pivoting on that, in this case, what I did was, what I think people sent me to Congress to do was to make a tough decision.
Okay. And we know that later this afternoon, she's speaking with your caucus. If she listens to you, if she takes your words to heart, what is next, Congresswoman Luria, in terms of selling this to an American public? Does she take this to a primetime address? What do you think she could do?
Well, I am learning, as I'm watching the broadcast here, the former Vice President Biden is going to be speaking, and then I will be attending the caucus meeting at 4 o'clock, and I know that that's a very good forum for all of us to speak, and, leadership and the Speaker and all the other members listen very closely to, what we have to say as colleagues and what we're hearing from constituents around the country. And then next after that, just based off what I've learned during your broadcast, she will be making a public statement at some point today.
Okay. Congresswoman Luria, thank you very much. I appreciate
Thank you.
And thank you, of course, for all your years in the Navy serving this country as well.